Hey guys, so I know it's been a minute since I've been on YouTube. The last video that I recorded was my Kielstein house hike with my friend CHIT, which was in Germany, and I posted that a few weeks ago, but obviously I recorded it a while I was still overseas. I am back in the States, if you can't tell by the background. This is my room in Michigan. But yeah, I've been back for a while, and a couple days ago I went to Ulta and I got some new products, and so I asked on Instagram, which if you guys don't follow me on there, I'll leave my name somewhere here or down below. You can check out my Instagram profile because that's where I will post the most and where I will interact with you guys the most. But yeah, so I asked on Instagram if you guys would be interested in me doing a video on them, and I got a really good response back. I think it was like 96% of you guys said yes, and one of the people that said, there were 2 people that said no, and out of those 2 people, one of them was my friend. So I took that as I should record a video for you guys, and that's what I did today. I did this makeup look, obviously, using this bad boy right here. So I used the new Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I also featured a new foundation and gave you guys like my final thoughts at the end of the video, and then while I was applying them I kind of gave you my first impressions. But yeah, so this intro isn't super long. I'm going to just leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoy. It's also like a chit chat where I kind of cover some places, I guess I should mention that, but I cover some questions that I've gotten over the past few months from people and just address some things so that I'm not just coming back like, you know, we're back, forget about the past. And so I really hope you guys enjoy, and in the next few seconds you're gonna see me transform completely and be makeupless. And just like that, I'm back bared face. If only it was that easy to get rid of makeup. But I was saying in the intro, we're gonna be testing out some new products today, and normally I would do my foundation first when I'm doing day-to-day makeup, but because I'm trying out a new palette and I don't know if there's gonna be much fallout, I'm gonna start with the eyes. So yeah, I'm so excited. I still haven't opened it. It's right here. Look at it. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Like this, first of all, this packaging is just beautiful, but let's open it together. I'm so excited. It's been sitting in the bag the last few days and I've just been so tempted to open it, but I wanted to save it for the video. So in case you haven't seen it, it looks just like that box. And then voila. Oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. Okay, let's take that off. So it's like all the Anastasia palettes. Basically, you get a brush in there, and then these are the colors. I did swatch them in the store, so I know that they swatch really well. But since this video isn't solely dedicated to the palette, I'm not going to take the time to do the swatches right now. I'm just going to use it on my eyes. The only downside to it is that you get sparkles all over your hands whenever you touch that packaging. But other than that, it's super cute. So without further ado, I guess that's like a second intro. I'm gonna start with my eyes, and for priming my eyes, I don't really use an eyeshadow primer. I more so just use my Tarte concealer, and I'm in the color Light Sand, and it is a bit light for me, but I really like using this on the eyes when I'm doing eye looks because I feel like it keeps that, oh, that looks crazy. I feel like it keeps the shadow on all night long. Oh, and a sponge that I've really been loving recently is this tiny like concealer beauty sponge from Real Techniques. I got it at TJ Maxx. It was on clearance with this contour sponge, and I really like using it for around the eyes because I feel like it's so tiny and it fits perfectly. But anyways, let's create a look with this. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is use like these shades right here. I want to try out the black, the brown, and then I might mix pearl with rose quartz or the cyborg. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We're kind of winging it. I really didn't look into too many looks for this. And some of my brushes might be dirty, excuse that. I did do my makeup on Friday for a Halloween party. So that's why. But I guess I'll start off with a clean brush, and it's the Morphe R37. In case you're wondering, I'm gonna start off with just fresh to just set my concealer. And yes, there's definitely some fallout. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but that's fine because I'm not a picky person when it comes to fallout. I think if the shadows work well, I'm okay with it having the fallout. But hold on. This is hard to like do your makeup and then also chit chat because I'm not used to doing that. I'm just used to doing like my makeup. But next I'm gonna go in with Twig, and I'm just gonna blend that into, oh, okay. That's a lot darker than I was expecting it to be. All right, well, we learned. Okay, so I'm back. I just did a lot of blending because that Twig shade was a lot darker than what I was anticipating it to be. It's definitely very pigmented, and a little goes a long way, so it's that shade right there. But you live and you learn. So next I'm gonna warm up my crease a little bit, and I'm gonna take Birch and maybe Bloom. We'll see how that works. But I figured that I was gonna try and do a chit chat video with you guys today while doing this look, and update you on where I've been and what I've been up to. I know the last video that went up on this channel was me hiking in Germany with my friend Keita, which that was just, if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. But that was a wonderful adventure, and honestly I wish I could go back and relive it. But that video I recorded in July while I was obviously still in Germany, and I ended up coming back from Europe in general at the end of August. So I've been back in the States for, I mean, basically a little over 2 months, and I've been trying to readjust to life, honestly, back in the States, because I know it's cliche to say, but when you're overseas and you spend, I mean, an extended period of time, so for me it was almost 6 months, you just realize how different the environments are. And for me personally, there's a lot of things that appeal to me overseas a lot more than they do here. And I definitely changed as a person. My priorities changed, what I want out of life and all of that. I guess those are my priorities, but I just gained a different mindset, and it was hard to come back and try and readjust to my life here as if like none of that ever happened, because that's basically how it felt when I came back. It just felt like snap of my fingertips, I was there, but now I'm not anymore. And the reality of it is life's never going to stop, and life just started back up here. I started a nursing assistant course. It was like a 5-week course to become a certified nurse assistant so that I could start working in a hospital, because I did end up changing my career path while I was overseas. I decided that I no longer wanted to do pharmacy, that I want to go into medicine and do physician assistant instead. So I figured in my gap, since I graduated and I'm in my gap year, I would take this time basically and just work in a hospital, gain some patient contact hours, like direct patient contact hours, because all I really have is indirect contact. Because all I have is indirect contact. So I did that course, and I started it up like 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, it was 2 weeks after coming back to the States is when that course started, and it all happened so fast. So I never really got the chance to just be like, okay, well, I'm back, like, let's adjust. It was more so like, get back to it, you gotta work, you gotta do this and that. Well, not actually work, because we're still unemployed, we're still looking for jobs, which is where I'm at right now. But I mean, I'm getting back to it. I'm getting back into the swing of things and just figuring out how to make the best of it and enjoy my life here as much as I enjoyed it in Germany, because I just really loved the environment that I was surrounded by, having nature so close by, being able to walk to the grocery store, being able to walk to the bakery, the quality of the food, and it's very different overseas, especially, I mean, in Munich. But it is what it is. Now I just have to get used to the big supermarkets like Meijer, Walmart, Kroger, walking in there and then spending like 20 minutes by the time you find what you need, get it, wait in the really long lines, find your car in the parking lot, and leave. It's like so much time wasted. But I mean, it's just a little difference in living, and that's just the reality of it. Which brings me to a question that I get asked often is, would I ever consider going back to Europe or living there? Yes, like in a heartbeat, I would. I really obviously loved it, and I could definitely see myself living in Munich, or I could see myself living in London, because that was one of the cities that I visited that I absolutely loved. It was just a dream come true, and the fact that I even saw the Queen on my very first day was just like, what? Like, who has that kind of experience? I mean, I didn't get to like talk to her, but I got to see her like wave in her little car, which was really neat. But I definitely loved London, and I could see myself living there because there's no language barrier. As far as Munich goes, I could see myself living there because ich kann Deutsch sprechen. So I would be able to find my way around. And for those of you that don't speak German, I said I can speak German. But yeah, so I don't know what the future holds, if I'm gonna end up going back. I honestly don't see myself staying in Michigan my whole entire life, so chances of me moving somewhere else are very high. But then again, it also depends on where my career takes me, what happens with that, and yeah, so I'm just living it up, following whatever path life has set for me, and whatever happens happens. But I should probably start doing my makeup, because if I keep talking, I'm never gonna do it. Basically, as I was talking, all I did was take Bloom, and I just continued to put it in my crease to warm it up a little bit. And that was that. A question that I also get asked as a follow-up is, would I consider moving back to Bosnia, because that's where I'm from. And a lot of people are curious to know, because I loved Europe so much, if that would be a country that I would consider moving back to, since the majority of my family is there. And it's a complicated answer. There's really no short answer to it, aside from right now, at this point in my life, no, I wouldn't consider moving there, because I just don't see myself succeeding in that kind of economy and environment. I love going back and visiting my family and spending vacations there and exploring, but as far as like living long term, I just don't see it happening. Maybe down the line, if the economy were ever to improve and the healthcare system were to improve, I could see myself moving there, or during retirement, if I get to that old age, I could definitely see myself building a log cabin up in the village where my dad is from, and like just chilling in the mountains, going on hikes. I know I sound I sound so foreign right now, but it's true. Like, that's one of the things that I loved about Germany, is that it really allowed me to see what impact nature has on my mood. And I just loved exploring, going into the mountains, going on hikes, and that's definitely something that I miss here. I mean, in Michigan we have some places where you can go hiking, but where I live within like the Detroit area, there's not really many places that I can go to for like mountain hikes. But yeah, so I guess that answers those questions that I often get. And I'm so bad at this. Forgive me, this is my first video, so I'm still trying to figure out how to do all this. But I think this is dystopia. I don't know. It's the dark brown shade. That's what I'm taking. I took slate and I put it in my crease first, and then I'm taking dystopia, whatever it's called. And I'm just being very precise in it by just putting it in like the crease, whereas the other shades I was a little bit messy with them, and I dragged them up to create like that transition. I think that's what it's called. I love doing makeup and I've watched so many videos and I blend, but sometimes I'm not the best at explaining how to achieve a look. And my family's like slamming doors downstairs, so if you hear any of that, just ignore it. But, and then I'm going to take the Noor, the black shade, and I'm going to just put that in my outer crease. And this black shade is actually very pigmented, which I really like. But yeah, so I've just been applying to jobs and I've been working with my organization. Heal Move Shift is the name of it. If you guys have me on social media, then you'll see me post about it here and there. But I do facilitate the seminars, or I help facilitate the seminars on Fridays. So I've been working on that. And then recently, actually yesterday, we launched our blog for Heal Move Shift, which I'm going to be working on. And I'll kind of be covering the topics that we talk about during our seminars a little bit more in depth, and providing you guys, anyone that's interested, with a bit more information and just tips and tricks on how you can apply certain things to your life. So a couple weeks ago I did ask on Instagram if anyone had any questions for me, because I was going to do a chit chat video. I'm trying to think back to what those questions were. I think one of them was like, what was one of my favorite places that I visited, my favorite city, whatnot. So aside from London and Munich being like my top 2 favorite cities, I would say Venice was absolutely gorgeous. It was just a dream come true. So if you do ever get the chance, I would highly recommend visiting Venice. I absolutely loved it. Oh, I didn't even explain to you guys. I'm so distracted that I did not even explain to you guys what I was doing with my eyes. But basically, I was just blending because that's what I do. Anyone that knows me knows that I just blend. But I did the Noor in the outer crease, and then I used Bloom to kind of just like blend it and soften it a little bit. I'm gonna come back to the palette. I'm not done, but I'm gonna apply some concealer to my eyelid to just carve it out, because I do have hooded eyes, and so whenever I'm doing any kind of eye look, really, I prefer to carve out my eyelids. So I'm just gonna carve out one eye at a time and then apply the shadow. That's just how I do it. And I'm using a Sonia Kashuk like concealer brush to do my carving out. But for applying any of like the glittery eyeshadows, one of my favorite brushes is from Sigma, and it's the concealer F70 brush, I believe. It looks red, but it's clean. It's red from my makeup that I did on Friday because it stained it. So I think what I'm first going to do is start off with Pearl right here, and I'm gonna do that in the first inner half of my eye, and then I'm gonna do Rose, where is it? Rose Quartz in the outer half. So we'll see what ends up actually happening. I wonder, it's definitely not picking it up as it was swatching. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's barely any product on there. So normally I would spray Max Fix Plus or like the Smashbox primer water, but I first want to see how these shadows work without any of that, so I can give you guys like my honest opinion. And honestly, I just try to put Pearl on and there's like no product. It's like bare minimal payoff. So I ended up going off camera and actually spraying my Smashbox Photo Finish primer water onto my brush, and then going in with those shimmery shades and applying them to my eyes, because I really did not like how they were looking without the primer water. I feel like they were lacking pigmentation. Oh god, I can't speak. And I also went in with Cyborg, I think that's what it's called. I mixed that one and Pearl and just put it in my inner corner. So For the eyes, I'm not done with them, but I'm gonna leave them as is right now, and then I'm gonna start working on my face. So the primer that I've been using since March, I actually picked it up before I left for Germany, is the Clinique Pep Star. Goodness gracious. And on here it says it's a Hydro Blur moisturizer. It is a primer. Honestly, I feel like it works like all my other primers works, but I think you get a good amount for your buck because I still have so much product left, and a little goes a long way with it. I will say it's not drying like some of the primers that I have tried in the past, hence the name moisturizer. So that's what I do like about it. It doesn't feel like it sucks all the moisture out of your skin. So I'm just gonna apply that to my T-zone area because that's where I will normally get the most oily, I don't know. Don't correct me on my grammar right now. So the foundation that I'm going to be using today is actually a new foundation that I'm going to be trying out, and it is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus color correcting full coverage cream with anti-aging hydrating serum. So I was on the market for a new foundation. The one that I used overseas was the Smashbox. I believe it's the 15-hour wear foundation. I really love that. I've repurchased it, and I just love that it's light on the skin but also provides like a medium coverage that's buildable, and it's your skin but better. That's how I would explain it. So I was contemplating whether to repurchase that one or try something new, and I saw this one and I've seen so many good reviews about it that I figured they were both $36, so with my discount they would have been the same price. I might as well just try it, and if it doesn't end up working out, you can always exchange, which is the beauty about Ulta and like Sephora. So I got the shade Fair Light. I don't know if this is going to be too light for me. Maybe. I hope not. But we'll see. So it comes in a squeezy, well, it's not a squeezy tube, it's a tube, but you can pump it out. The only downside to the Smashbox one is when it comes to traveling, it's a glass bottle, but that one also does have the pump as well. So I'm going to be using my not Real Techniques, this is my Eco Tools. So this is I'm sorry it's so dirty, but this is the Eco Tools sponge, beauty sponge. I love that it has a straight edge, and I got this at TJ Maxx too on clearance. It was like $3. That's $3 after spent. So I'm going to be using that to apply this foundation. I'm just gonna squeeze some out right there and start applying. I mean, so I don't know if this is too light for me, but we're gonna see. So off the bat, my first like reaction is that it is definitely full coverage. I mean, it covered up my like blemishes right here super well, but it is not heavy whatsoever. So this side is the side with the foundation on, this side is without. Without, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell much difference on camera. So I applied it all over my face, and I think it might be a good color match after all of my tan fades away, because I still have some of it, which is so sad that it's fading away. But first impressions of it, I really like the way it feels on the skin. It's very light, but it also does, it's a little fluffy, but it also does have the full coverage. It's a little bit sticky, but not too much. My house smells so good right now because my mom made pita, and if you guys are from anywhere in the Balkans, pita, burek, you know what that is and you know how that smells, and my house just smells so wonderful. But yes, so far so good. I definitely like the way that it looks on my skin. You can usually tell by first impression wise how the foundation might go. so I have high hopes for it. Okay, so before my camera turned off because there was insufficient space on my memory card, guys, I'm still getting used to this whole thing. Like, there's so many things that you have to think about when you start filming, and I'm just like, oh, let's just film, there's light. What can go wrong? So many things, but that's okay. So the two concealers that I have been using for the past few months in combination together have been the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer and then the MAC Pro Longwear. I use these two together because this one's obviously a bit darker and this one's super light. So I'll apply this one to like the inner part of my under eyes, and then this will go on the outer part, and like I'll blend it together. If that makes any sense, I'll show you. But I love both of these concealers. I love the Tarte Shape Tape because it is definitely long lasting. Like, this will not budge once you apply it. The downside to it is that it can be drying. So if you do have dry skin, you might not really like it because it's such a thick formula. The MAC Pro Longwear I really love on a day-to-day basis because it is a lot lighter, and it still has the coverage, but it's not as thick as the Tarte one. So basically what I do is I apply the MAC one in the outer corner, and I work from outer inner. And I don't know who taught me this trick, but basically if you work from outer inner, you're making sure that most of the concealer is focused on the inner part of your under eye. I think that's what it's called. Which is usually where most people have the darkness. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm using the Real Techniques like concealer sponge. So after that's all blended, I'm going to set my face, and my favorite powder to set my face with is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Sometimes I bake with it, sometimes I don't. For the sake of today's video, I'm not going to be baking with it, because I also want to see how this foundation lasts without the baking. So I'm just going to lightly set under my eyes with it. And I know it's a bit pricier, the Laura Mercier powder, but if you're not baking with it, I would definitely say it lasts you a while. So whatever is left on my brush, I will just drag it on my face and set like the rest of my face. It is a bit sticky, this foundation, so I'm interested to see if that'll go away as I continue doing my makeup and as it sets. And to set my face, I'm just using the Morphe R10 brush. In regards to brushes, I really love Morphe brushes. I know there's a lot of controversy around Morphe brushes, but personally for me they work. I've used them for the past like 3-4 years, I want to say, since they started coming out with them. And I mean, yeah, some of them do shed. I've washed them a million times, but they're still really good quality, and I don't have, or at least I haven't experienced any big problems with it. Like my Sigma brushes that I got, they've actually separated like the brush tip from the handle, a couple of them, and I take care of them the same way as I take care of my Morphe ones, so that just shows. But definitely Morphe, and then also Eco Tools I love. I don't have too many of their brushes. I want to get more, but I really love the quality and just how soft they are. So right now I'm just going to bronze my face, and I'm just using the NYC Smooth Skin bronzer. So I've used this for God knows how many years. It's always my like go-to in the fall time, like fall and winter time, because I just think it's the perfect color. It's not too orangey. It's just warm enough to warm up your face, and I really like it. So I'm just going to bronze with it. Nothing special. I'm very messy when it comes to bronzing. So now that I've just lightly bronzed my face up, I'm gonna do like the bare minimum of contouring. The palette that I've been using for like the past year and a half is the Lorac Pro contour palette. I used the Anastasia one before, decided to switch it up. To me, they're both like equally the same. As you can tell, I've used this one. But surprisingly, I still have not hit pan on these shades, even though, I mean, I've made dents in them, but I haven't hit pan. So you get quite a bit of product, and a little goes a long way. To contour, I'm going to be using the Sigma Large Angled Contour Brush. This is the F40. And I just mix these two outer shades together. Do the fishy face. And just do a light contour. And if you haven't noticed, I will usually dust off or tap off, dust off, oh dear God. I will tap off my brush after I apply product, whether it's eyeshadow, bronzer, blush, whatever. Guess whose camera is about to die? Definitely mine. That's wonderful. We'll see how far I can get before it dies. Alright, and then for blush, I'm actually going to be using a new blush that I got, and it is from Benefit. I think it's called the California. I got this in my Birchbox. I signed up for it this past month because they were giving these out for free, and it's just like a peachy gold kind of blush. I think it'd look nice with this look, so I'm just going to use the Morphe M530 brush and apply it to the apples of my cheeks. And I apply it to the apples of my cheeks, and then I blend it outwards into my bronzer and my contour. So I did not plan for my camera to die, but my camera did die, and so while it was charging, I ended up finishing up my eyebrows and my lashes, as well as like my lower lash line. I don't know where it cut off exactly because I just looked up and I remember it just saying like needs to be charged or whatever the little like pop-up thing is. So what I did to my under eyes, because I don't think it caught that, maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but what I did to my under eyes is I used the Bloom and the Birch shades first, and then I used Slate and Twig. So Slate is the gray one, then Twig, and then for the outer part of them I use Dystopia and Noor, the black shade. So that's what I did to my lower lash line. I applied lashes. I wish I could tell you what lashes I applied. All I know is that they are Dailami 3D natural eyelashes. I got these from Bosnia when I was there, and they look, hopefully that'll focus, that's how they look. So they were like $2.50 marks, which is like $1, super cheap, but they're really nice quality and I really like them. And then for my eyebrows, I use the Anastasia brow definer. So Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer. I'm in medium brown. I use that, and then I also use the NYX tinted brow mascara to set my eyebrows. I used to be a hardcore pomade person, like pomade Anastasia Beverly Hills, right there. But the downside to this is that it dries up super fast, and you always have to wet your brush before you use it once it starts drying up. Otherwise, it's just not a precise look. So Ulta have the pencil 50% off, and I was like, why not give it a go? And I really liked it. And this wasn't now, this was like a month ago. So this is the angle tip. I just want to mention that this is the angle tip one. I did use the original Anastasia way back when it came out, but the past 2 years I've been using the pomade, and this was my first time going back to the pencil and trying the slanted end, and I really do enjoy this. So if you're in the market for a new eyebrow pencil, whatnot, definitely recommend trying this one. What I'm gonna do now is just apply some mascara to combine my lashes with the falsies, and then some mascara for my lower lash line. I wanted to mention this because technically it is like a new product. I've only been using it for a week, but it is the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara, and this is the one that they compare it to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I have fallen in love with this, like hands down one of my new favorite mascaras. It does not smudge, it does not transfer to your face in any way, shape, or form. No, like, what's it called? Flaking. I love it. Obsessed with it. I was gonna use just mascara today to show how amazing it turns your lashes, but because I did a darker look, I felt falsies looked a lot better with it. So I'm just gonna use this one to combine my lashes. I don't think I touched on it earlier, but in the sense of where I've been in regards to YouTube, I know my room tour in Germany, or like my apartment tour video in Germany, I said that I was gonna be uploading like twice weekly, maybe a travel vlog, and then like a lifestyle beauty kind of thing, and that never really happened. I do want to say that I did end up recording all of my trips, well, most if not all of my trips that I went on, so I still have those travel vlogs that I'm working on editing. It's just that they take a really long time to edit. Like videos like this where I'm sitting and I can just edit out the parts I mess up on is fine, but when you're doing a travel vlog, at least for me, I'm so picky about how my footage aligns that it takes me a while to edit them. And so they're all on my flash drive stored. I just have to work on editing them, and over obviously the next few weeks I would really like to get those up for you guys so that I could share those experiences. As far as recording in Germany, I didn't sit down to record aside from that one time, and the only reason is because I realized how long it took me to sit down and record and how long it took me to just edit and upload and all of that, and I knew that my time there was limited, and I really wanted to take full advantage of being in Germany and exploring the different streets, exploring the different places that there was, engaging with the people that were with me in the program, forming friendships, that I decided that I was just gonna hold off on making videos, and that's really what ended up happening. And I mean, it passed by like that, honestly guys. Like before I even knew it, it was our graduation party, and I was looking back at the 4 months that we were there thinking, where did that time go? So I'm very glad that I didn't waste time filming, because now I can do it here in the States where I'm used to everything. But in Germany it was just a new environment, and I definitely wanted to just submerge myself in it all and take full advantage of it, which is why I didn't record any videos while I was there, and I did not keep up with that uploading schedule. But I wanted to just address that, because I did get some people messaging me like, oh, when are you gonna post? Like, have you been recording? Like, are you posting anything soon? So I just wanted to say that. From this point forward, I will try and post as often as I can. I'm actually going to see how this footage turns out with this lighting and this setup, if it's good. Leave it in the comments below what you guys think of it, what I need to, like any tips or tricks of what I should change. Definitely would appreciate that. But I don't know how much my camera charged, so I should probably, I'm kind of like speaking fast because I don't know how much to charge, and I'm trying to like wrap it up so it doesn't die on me again, and also the sun is going down. So yes, so I did my eyes are complete. One thing I will say that I don't like about this palette is that there is no, like, I guess you could use pearl, but highlight shade for your brow bone that I really like. So I'm gonna just end up using my highlight for my brow bone. I'm gonna end up using the Jaclyn Hill Becca Champagne Pop highlighter, and this baby has been a holy grail since it came out. I love it. Obviously I love it. So I'm gonna use that. Let me see what brush I want to use. I guess I'll just wipe this one off and use the brush that I used to apply my eye makeup, and just focus that under my brow bone. The brush that I'm going to use is the Morphe M510 for my face highlight. Yes, I just love this highlight so much. I know everyone's different in how they apply highlight. I like to apply it to like the apple of my cheek because I have really chubby cheeks, and I don't know, I like the way that the highlight pops when I smile. And I do apply a little bit above my eyebrow too. Look at that glow! I get so excited about highlight. That's like one of my favorite makeup products is highlight. Alright, so before my camera fell, I was saying that I loved Champagne Pop. It's one of my favorite highlighters, definitely. So as far as the face goes, I'm all set. All that I have really left to do is my lips, and we keep it simple. I normally just prefer like a nude-ish, pinkish lip. Brave from MAC is one of my favorite shades. Right now I'm gonna just use a lip liner from Essence. This is also new. I purchased it Friday. I really like it. It's the soft contouring lip liner in 09 Going Steady, and it's just a pencil liner. I don't have big lips, so lining them is the best option for me, because if I don't line them and I just apply lipstick, then it just looks really weird. And that's definitely coming off a lot redder on oh god, some of my grammar sometimes. It's definitely coming off more red on the camera than it actually is. Okay, so I'm back. I actually ended up wiping that pure lip paint off. I like the way it looks on my lips and like it feels, but the color was just not going with the look, and I didn't like the way that it was clashing. So I ended up wiping that off and applying the, I think it's the Tartiste lip paint. I have the mini sample, but this is in Birthday Cake, which is just like a really nice nude color, pinky nude. And then on top of it I use the Sponge Cake, which that is not how red it is, but it's just a really like sparkly nude lip gloss, and it's coming off super red, but I swear it's not that red. So yeah, that's what I did off camera. And then I guess I just wanted to wrap this video up by summarizing my thoughts on some of the products that I used. So for the Sultry palette, do I recommend it? Yes, get your hands on it if you can. Honestly, I mean, yes, the matte shades do have fallout, and it is what it is. They are very pigmented. They go on super nicely. They blend, they stay on. Definitely did not have any problems with them being, what's the word? What is that word? One like, it's just not blendable. Chalky. They're definitely not chalky. They're very easy to work with. So I highly recommend them. They're also very pigmented. You have your basic shades that you need in here. So I think you could use this palette on the go if you were to travel. As far as the shimmery shades go, just applying them with a brush in general, I was not impressed. Using your finger, you do get a little bit more payoff, but I would definitely say the most payoff is if you used Fix Plus, or if you use the Smashbox Primer Water, and you spray your brush with that before you apply the shades. Then you actually get their true color, and I think they're absolutely, I mean, beautiful. They're gorgeous. So that's another view of the palette. Definitely would recommend this. And then as far as the foundation goes, looking at it right now after I've applied all of my makeup, I really love the finish of it. It's a, I want to say it's like a satin finish. It's not, definitely not matte. It's definitely not too dewy. I think it's like the perfect finish for my face. I do have combination skin, and in the wintertime it tends to be a bit more dry. So I can see this working really well for that period. My bronzer, contour, blush, all of that looks really nice on it. It doesn't look blotchy, and when I was applying my blush and contour, it was easy to work with. So obviously I'm gonna give this a few more tries before I make my final opinion of it and see how it wears throughout the day, but definitely liking it for now. And like I said earlier in the video, I will definitely leave like in the description box below how they progressed throughout the evening. I think that's that for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I'm sorry that there were so many cutoff points. I guess that's just the beauty of filming and trying to figure out how this whole filming thing works. But yeah, that is that for today. I will see you guys in my next video, and please let me know in the comments what you want to see from me. If you want to see more makeup looks, let me know. If you don't want to see any more and you're like, maybe this is not your calling, let me know too. I take constructive criticism. It's part of life. But yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Please make sure you subscribe down below so that you can be notified when I do upload, and also follow me on Instagram because that's where I spend most of my time engaging with you all, and I love to engage with all of you on the internet. I have so many social media friends and I'm so happy about it. But yeah, without prolonging this anymore, I'll see you later. Bye. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Roll, I don't even know, like 5,000,000,000th time attempt to do this. I'm like giving away everything in this one. So I ended up one on, why is it red now? Oh, because I have no storage. Oh no. Thanks motorcycles for being a part of my video. So I will update you guys on how it works. My next video, please make sure to subscribe so that you can not subscribe.